This is a valuable thing to record. I don't think I have addressed this specifically, even though I've talked about it many, many times. And that is the long drop-in saddle on modern Martin guitars. It looks like a vintage through saddle, but it's not. This is the kind of saddle that you will find on the Authentics. This is an LSV right here. Not all of the long saddles, but currently any saddle that looks like it's supposed to be vintage. So some of them are obviously long drop in, and they have round ends on the end of the saddle. You'll see that. This is one that is a mimic, and you can see here it has square ends on it. Let me get something to point with. Arg. The ends are square. But if you look very, very closely, and you may have to go get your own guitar to do this, because I'm having trouble getting close enough and getting the light. Right at the end there's a half circle right here. And that's where the router bit came out like this. And the router bit makes a hole, and then they fill it in with super glue, black super glue. Let's look over here. I can't get the camera's blocking the light, so it's really hard to get this. Let me see if I can get a better light in here. Let's add some more light to the situation. There we go. There it is. You see it? You see that round half moon circle at the end of that saddle? That definitely says that this is a long drop-in saddle. I'm in the process of pulling this bridge. And when I get done pulling the bridge, I'm going to pull the saddle too. And so in a few minutes, I will show you the saddle's ends. They're going to come like this, and they're going to drop down, and then they're going to have a ledge on them, which a true vintage saddle does not have. So that's what it looks like in the bridge. You're looking for that half circle, a little black right there, and you'll see that when this saddle comes out. So we'll be right back as I'm pulling it, okay? I keep trying to look at the bottom of my bifocals for this. Well, here's what we're doing right here. I'm using a heat lamp with aluminum guards, and I'm pulling this bridge because there's finish underneath the bridge. I have a whole video on this, cleaning out the finish underneath the bridge. But in the process of heating this bridge, the saddle is going to get loose, and we're going to end up pulling the saddle, and I will end up converting this to a true vintage saddle. I'll go through as much of that process as I can, but the main thing I want to do in this video is show you how to identify one of these, what I'm talking about when I refer to the long drop-in saddles, okay? So I'm not sure if I'm going to go through the whole process of filling in the slot and recutting. We'll see. All right, I just want to show you what I'm doing here and what it looks like and why I'm taking this bridge off. All right, we got this pulled, and this one is not very bad. This is almost a vintage saddle. That's hot stuff. But if you look at it very closely here on the end, you can see that step right there on the saddle. And you can also see that if you come in here to the slot itself, just trying to get a shot of this. See, that doesn't go through. God, it almost does. This is like one of the best ones I've ever seen. It's almost nothing over here in the treble. But it is nevertheless a drop in, because if you look at the ends right here, there's a little bit of a step. Like I said, this one's really good. This is almost a vintage saddle. I don't think I'm going to fill that in, the wood with this, and we're just going to glue this one back in. A lot of these, I had no idea. I should have had a better example for this, but a lot of these are going to have a very big step right here at the end. They're going to go down this curve, and then they're going to drop, and you'll see that. Like I said, this one's really good. I would not have chosen this for the video if I knew it was going to look like this when I pulled it. But there it is, okay? And it's also too long for a vintage saddle. The vintage should be about like right there, halfway down this slope. So they cut this slot just a little too deep. So, but I'm not going to mess with this probably. We're just going to put that saddle back in. So anyway, that's what we're talking about. Okay, that is a long drop-in saddle slot.